家もない、家族もない、学校にも行ってない、友達もいない。
Top 10 Best Slice of Life Anime. Slice of Life anime has its own charm. Just consider reality for an example. No matter how mundane our own life is, we are always interested in the lives of those we find interesting. It's just one's natural curiosity. Today we'll be talking about a few genuinely well-crafted slice of life animes, hence the title Top 10 Best Slice of Life Animes. Well then, shall we begin?
もう研究所の中じゃないんだ。僕らは普通に生きてかなきゃいけない。僕たちには頼れる人もいないし、お金だってあるわけでもない。
なんでお前の言う普通にならなきゃいかんのか?
Number 10. Frankenstein Family. To start things off, we have an exceptional, rather underrated Chinese anime. It also has Japanese dubs, by the way. There is a boy named Tani who has some pretty messed up parents. Like, they are literally just a couple of mad scientists. They used their own children and experimented upon them far away from the civilization on an abandoned island. Finally, the couple gets arrested and the siblings are transferred to a new place. Though, since they have never had a normal life, they don't know the first thing about how to interact with society. Now, unlike his siblings, Tani's wasn't genetically modified, and so he tries to help his siblings become accustomed to the society. Just like that, the Frankenstein family will now have their slice of what it's like to live a normal life. Number 9. Kakushi Goto. The protagonist is a manga artist named Gotao Kakushi. He is a little self-conscious about his daughter eventually finding out what her father does for a living. And by a little, I mean he literally puts an office attire before going to his studio, and also holds emergency drills with his assistants in case she ever came to his studio. Aside from this, he is a genuinely good father who cares for his daughter. Not only does he make sure her needs are met, he also spends time with her. But as the saying goes, there are no secrets that time cannot reveal. What would happen when she learns the truth? What is the truth even? Why is he hiding his occupation from his daughter? Well, you'll have to find out for yourself.
一番嬉しいのは姫が元気に大きく育つことかな。
元気に。
Number 8. Silver Spoon. As a manga that was created by the author of Full Metal Alchemist and then adapted in A1 Pictures, Gin no Saji is quite an experience. It follows the light and colorful story of a young student as he tries to become accustomed to his new agricultural high school. The guy's name is Yugo Hachiken. He is quite the hard worker but still always fails to live up to his parents' expectations. Though when the new school year comes, he takes this chance to escape to a boarding school located in the Hokkaido countryside. He knew for sure that he would do well there, but the man soon realizes that he was sorely mistaken. The school has a lot of practical stuff, and since his classmates have spent most of their lives on a farm, they are way better than him at everything. He is a complete newbie. But as he meets new and unique people, he gradually comes to appreciate this new environment. The simplicity of it all is fascinating. Number 7. Laid Back Camp. There are times in life when all you need is to relax, to be at peace, smile at casual jokes, and appreciate the simple things in life. Well, Yuru Camp is the kind of anime that'll take you there, to that peaceful atmosphere. It's about the camping adventures of 5 high school girls, their friendship, and the jokes they crack along the way. It does nothing more than what it needs to, which is why it's beautiful. The element of ingenuity is what makes it so great. So want to relax on a weekend? Make some coffee and enjoy this anime.
私、うなぎのお菓子買ってくるよ、あきちゃん。 私はさ、待った方がいいのかなってずっと思ってたの。今までもちょっとずつだけど話してくれたから。
Number 6. Oregairu. Oregairu is the story that follows an antisocial protagonist named Hikigaya Hachiman. To the entire school, his existence is trivial. Some don't even know such a person exists in their class. Naturally, the guy becomes accustomed to it all and ends up with a rather peculiar philosophy. Youth is a lie, it is evil, or so he says. He writes it down and submits it to the teacher, though when she reads it, she gets concerned about him and makes him join the volunteer service club. The only other member is the elite Yukino Shita Yukino. Their initial conversations are awkward, but when the third member joins and the club continues to accept and fulfill requests, their relationship as well as the relationship of those around them gradually begin to shift. Hachiman's rom-com has just begun.
なんか目から水が。何これ？なんでこうなってんの？
それは涙だよ。お兄ちゃん初めて感情したロボットみたいになってるよ。
Alright guys, a quick question here. So, let's say you get a once-in-a-lifetime chance to propose to your anime crush. Who will it be? Come on, be a man and tell the boys. Also, like and subscribe, it's always appreciated. Well then, let's get back to the list. Number 5. Mushishi. In both the anime and the manga medium, Mushishi holds a prestigious status. The plot essentially revolves around a way of life called Mushi. It is where you just go with the flow. You don't have any goals, no aspirations. Your perspective on what's good or what's evil is also beyond the sum of their parts. Now, these Mushi can exist in many forms, from plants to diseases and even in natural phenomenon like a rainbow. Those who try and understand Mushi are called Mushishi, or in other words, they are Mushi masters. The protagonist named Ginko is also a Mushi master. He transverses through the lands, understands Mushi, and helps those who are in need. Number 4. Barakamon. Barakamon is that one anime which perfectly embodies everything as a well-crafted slice of life is supposed to be. It's about an interesting protagonist, a clever premise, and a downright exceptional side cast. The protagonist named Seishu Handa is a young calligrapher, though he also has a few narcissistic tendencies. One day, when a veteran in this field labels his craft as unoriginal, he loses his cool and just punches the guy. His father sends him to the Goto Islands in order for him to self-reflect and gain a new understanding of things. Though his new environment is lively, too lively even, no one stops barging into his life, and through these interactions, he gradually starts to learn much more about this simple thing called life. It's a genuinely refreshing anime.
I need to get out there right now and find a job. Part-time, contract, anything.
Number 3. Welcome to NHK. Welcome to NHK is not like your usual animes. The amount of depression in it is inconceivable. If anything, some of that depression might even rub off on you too. The plot is essentially a coming-of-age story on how to overcome depression, but the way it is all portrayed is incredibly realistic. The element of realism is on steroids. The protagonist is a 22-year-old dropout who had been a hardcore shun-in hikikomori for 4 years, and instead of taking responsibility for his behavior, he blames it all on a secret organization who exists only in his head, though he simply believes that it is them who forced him into his NEET status. Now, will the guy ever be able to face his biggest fear, the society? Number 2. Space Brothers. Space Brothers may very well be the inspiring series that you always needed. It tells us the story of two brothers, how they vowed to go to the moon when they were young, but now in the present day, while one has lost his job as a car designer after headbutting the manager, the younger one is successfully making great strides in achieving his dream. The time when he'll be standing on the moon is not far away. Meanwhile, the older brother, named Muta, keeps questioning his life. He has been reduced to a wage worker, though when their mother secretly sends in his application to the Japanese Aerospace Agency and he is accepted, the man finally embarks on this journey of becoming an astronaut, catching up to his brother, and then going to the moon. Yet again, it's the element of realism that makes this story so profound in the eyes of all who experience it.
なんだこのノイズ。こんな音あの時は。おお、マジかよ。
Number 1. March comes in like a lion. Here we have yet another coming-of-age story, one that centers around an emotionally wounded young man named Rei Kiriyama. He has been through a lot in his childhood. He has lost his parents, was adopted by his father's friend's family, but his new siblings never saw him as part of their family. Now, in his second year of high school, he is a professional shogi player, and though his interactions with all kinds of players, the friendships with his teacher, and the family-like atmosphere provided by the three Kawamoto sisters, Rei keeps experiencing all sorts of emotions silently. Soon enough, his solitary shell begins to crack. Will his emotional scars ever heal? Though this story is not just about him, it's also about the people involved with him and the missteps taken along the way. That's all folks. Now guys, what do you think of these animes? Have you watched them? Are you planning on watching them? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Press that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and leave a comment saying I subscribed and I'll personally reply to your comment. Well then, I'll see you guys on my next video.